So we got
where are
the
we
little.
going, Pat? Where are you taking us?
I'm taking you on a journey to see the bar fridge that we're putting in. We're just putting a dosing pump on top of here, so you can see right in here we got our dosing. It's really hard to see because I got to look like from the side of the camera here to see what you can see. I can't change it to the front one. So we're putting in a dosing pump on top of the fridge. This is a fridge we used to use for our non-photosynthetic system. We just drilled through the top of the fridge. And then we've got the lines dropping through.
So you just take a mini fridge and you drill holes through it.
Yep, just drill holes through and then run your RO tubing through. And we're going to punch another hole in the side and run in a magnetic stir. And then that will just keep the foods mixed and in suspension. And so that the dosing pump can sit on top of the fridge, we made a little, like a little box here. See if you can see it there. Some little tubes in it. And then on the inside, one of them got broken off. But there's the little nipples on the inside there. And that way the dosing pump can sit directly on top of the fridge. The cables will disappear out the back of the box and keep everything looking super clean. And then the dosing pump looks like it just disappears into the fridge with the outputs disappearing out the back there. So we made that so that we can start dosing some of the foods like what Jamie's doing over there at Hornman, right? And make it automated because I'm not going to do that manually. And then we just have to come to the fridge and refill the containers there on the magnetic stir, and it should be automated.
So right? What are you going to feed and how much?
We haven't fully decided on what we're going to feed yet. I'm going to have to go back and talk to Jamie and see what he's feeding, and we're going to try to replicate that closer to what he's doing there. We were thinking, the oyster feast and some live Fido, and then also replicate what he's doing there as close as we can.
Very cool. Not going to feed like he does, which is sort of a flush feeding, right? You're just going to feed a small amount on a continuous basis.
Yeah, that's kind of our what we're going to do is feed a small amount constantly. So the idea is basically every hour it'll be feeding a very small quantity to the tank, but every hour it's getting fed. So you have a small amount going in all the time. So there should always be food there. So that's what we're going to add to the system right now.
Very cool.
We had one of our alkalinity containers, our alkalinity tank explode. So it broke. So that's our new alk dosing bin there. Like a 20-gallon tank on maybe a 15 on a little, still on the cardboard lid so it doesn't crack in the corners. And of course, you've got to have your mixing pumps there, right?
Look at that. Yeah, the original MP10s at work.
Some old school MP10s, yeah.
New life is salt mixing.
Well, they're too small for the tanks anyway, so... And then right now we're just getting, see it here. We're getting this tank online here. Go across. So yeah, we're just making an acrylic piece to go bridge the two tanks here to go across here. We're making an acrylic piece to go across like this one here, right? So that no water drips down into here, right? Otherwise we get like corrosion on the racks in here. So we're making the acrylic piece to go across here. It's cut. Just got to notch it out for the acrylic for the returns like this. And because the two tanks are actually different widths, you can see if you can come down here. These are 42, and then these are two tanks at 24. There's a bit of a step there, right? So we got to angle it, put the acrylic piece on top of there, and we silicone between the tanks so that no drips go between the tanks. And then these two will go online, and they're ready to go.
Nice, so then we can expand our testing.
We can expand our testing. We got the 63s up there. You can see my tremendous mess in the background.
Very cool. So actually the connection looks pretty good now. You want to show us the tanks real quick?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me shut some flow off first. We've got a power bar in each of the tanks, so you should be able to go around and put the power bar and turn them off. I want to turn off manually. So flow is settling down, so we go like this. Can you see the tanks, Jay?
Yep, they look good. How big were those acropore colonies 8 months ago when you started?
Oh no, hold on. These acros that are here, these are new. So these are ones we've just basically added recently, and these guys here are new because we're adding them and we're just stabilizing into the tank to use them for the next set of testing. These pieces, which are the red dragons, I'll pull one out. They're all starting to grow into each other. I gotta find one that I can get out. They're all growing into each other a lot.
So how many frags were there in that group starting off?
We didn't lose any, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think 16 to 20 basically, and they were all 1 inch.
So that was 16 separate 1-inch frags that have now grown into that mass of red dragon.
Of red dragon, yeah, they've kind of just taken over and exploded. These are the new pieces. They're just some tenuous that we were going to use for doing the testing. Hopefully the glare's not blinding you. These were all Panape bird's nests. Same idea, 1-inch frags. This is a deep water that I've been growing for quite some time now. Probably 3/4-inch frags. It's definitely a slower grower, but it can be quite a stunning piece. And you can see as the colonies are filling in, we're having a bit of a problem with Detria settling on some of the plates. And then what else do we have here? Some Porites that we were growing and letting it encrust out. These were all caps that were 1-inch pieces. These were the purple caps. This is the low intensity, long duration tank. You can see where they're all growing down. I'll walk over to the other tank there, get a top down view. And this is the high intensity, short duration tank, right? So you can clearly see a massive difference in structure. These ones are all growing up into a nice cup. Can you see that on there, Jay?
Oh, absolutely. Can you send me a picture of those tanks when they started out?
Absolutely. Yep. And these are the same deep waters, the red ones with the green polyps. They do appear to be bigger over here. What's interesting is on the for the Panape birds' nests on the low intensity, long duration, no matter where they're placed, they all look exactly the same. And under the high intensity, shorter duration, the ones directly under the lights definitely are paler. And the ones not directly under the lights, out of the hot spot, are a deeper, richer, much nicer color. Structurally, they're almost identical, but visually, the ones under the higher intensity lights just outside of the hot spot look a lot nicer.
So in terms of where the color on those particular birds' nests is better, do you know what the par is comparatively?
We have it. I can pull it up and send it to you. Yeah, we would have it. That's for sure. And then, we just got a couple red planets in from a friend of ours. So we're going to use those. This was a red planet from high intensity lighting. So it's like super, super pink. And the one that's more green here is the exact same coral, but it was kept under lower intensity lighting, so it went much more green. So, and then this is what he called a green dragon. And this acro will color up super nice. It's a big brown apora right now, but I know what that looks like when it colors up, and it gets really colorful and pretty. So we ran all those through Corallab X and Interceptor dip twice before we put them into the system, and now they're ready to go.
And those pieces are for what you're planning on testing next?
Yeah, next set of tests.
And what are we planning on testing next, Patrick?
Well, that's a discussion for another day, perhaps.